Now, today, we're taking it to the next level, making a huge leap. We have some very exciting news to tell you about iPhone. And to do that, I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up to take you through it. Phil?
Good morning. It's really neat to stand here and see all the Apple logos glowing from all the computer screens facing me. Well, we're here to talk about the iPhone. We launched the first iPhone in 2007, and what an incredible breakthrough it was for the entire industry. I think Time magazine put it best when they put iPhone on the cover of the magazine. They called it the innovation of the year, and they wrote that it is the phone that has changed phones forever. And boy, were they right. It simply went on to become the #1 smartphone in the world. We started with that first iPhone, and each and every year, we introduced new versions with new features, new innovations, each time setting a new bar for what is the gold standard in the phone marketplace. And we're going to do that again today. Today, we're going to introduce iPhone 5. And I'd like to show it to you right now. So let's take a look at the brand new iPhone 5. It is an absolute jewel. It is the most beautiful product we have ever made, bar none. We'll put a video up on screen so you can see it even bigger, since it's so small. And this is iPhone 5. I'm going to take you through it, and I hope when we're done, you'll love it just as much as we do. Thank you. So, iPhone 5. It is made entirely of glass and aluminum. It's designed and built to an exacting level of standard, unlike anything we or anyone in our industry has made before. And I don't think it is an exaggeration to say that the hardware and software engineering that has gone into this product is the most challenging our team has ever taken on. And what they've accomplished is simply amazing. So let's walk through it. First, iPhone 5 is the thinnest phone we have ever made. It is the lightest as well. The new iPhone 5 is just 7.6 millimeters thin. That's 18% thinner than the iPhone 4S. And best of all, it's the world's thinnest smartphone. It also weighs just 112 grams. That's 20% lighter, 1/5 lighter than the iPhone 4S. Volumetrically, it's smaller as well. So before we get into it, this is the monumental challenge the team had. Can you make a phone that has everything the iPhone 4S has before you even talk about new features in a design that's thinner, lighter, and smaller than the previous product? It is really easy to make a new product that's bigger. Everyone does that. That's not the challenge. The challenge is to make it better and smaller. So let's start with the product. It starts, of course, with the display. iPhone 5 is a Retina display, the same 326 pixels per inch. And it is a stunning display in every way. Every iPhone to date has had a 3.5-inch screen, but the new screen on iPhone 5 is a 4-inch display. In terms of pixels, it's 1,136 by 640. So the same width, but taller, giving it a natural 16:9 aspect ratio. But why would we design it that way? What is the design center for a phone? It's this. It's your hand. A phone should feel great in your hand, and more importantly, it should be easy to use with this magical device we all carry called a horizontally opposed thumb. It does most of the hard work for us. So when you carry your phone, it should fit beautifully in your hand. It should be easy to send messages type emails, surf the web, and that's just how we designed iPhone 5. This display is simply amazing. Let's zoom in a little closer. You see with the vertical pixels now, we're able to add a fifth row of icons to your home screen, so more apps on every screen. And all the software that comes on the iPhone 5 has been updated to take advantage of this display. So you see more of the web when you're surfing Safari. You see more of your email and mail. Your calendar shows more events. And as you probably know, when you turn your calendar sideways in the iPhone, it automatically goes into week view. And now you see a full 5-day work week, where previously it was just over 3 days. It's a really useful view. And all of our software is being updated as well to take advantage of this display. Our iWork applications, so Keynote, Pages, Numbers, all take advantage of this gorgeous display. Our iLife software as well, iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand. There's much more room to work and play. But Tim told you there's 700,000 applications in the App Store. What happens with all of them? Well, this is part of the brilliance of the design. Here's an application that has not been updated because the developer didn't know yet about iPhone 5. It's exactly how it would run when you launch it. It runs at the same size as it does on every previous iPhone. We don't have to stretch it or scale it. It fits perfectly with the same dimensions. We center it, and we just subtly place black borders on either side of it that you don't even notice. It works exactly as the developer intended it to. The same is true in the vertical position as well. So all your software works just like before. Now, we have given some of the developers early access to take a peek at the iPhone 5 and this new 4-inch Retina display and to see what they'll do with their applications. And what we learned is 2 things. One, they can update their apps very quickly. And number 2, when they want to, they don't want to just make it bigger. They want to do more with this display. So let me just show you 2 quick examples, before and after, of 2 popular applications. First, CNN. This is the application. If you use it like many of us do, it's working just like you're used to. But now with their update, they take more advantage of that beautiful display, have more areas to present the stories. It's just a better application. Here's a second example, OpenTable. You've likely used this to make reservations. This is how it is currently. It works just like before. And here's their new update, taking advantage of this gorgeous display. They've updated to show restaurants. They've actually applied some of the techniques and user interface of their iPad app into the iPhone now with the larger display area. And everything you do looks gorgeous on this display. Photos, TV shows, of course, movies take advantage of that beautiful widescreen display. When I say it looks better, they really do look better. This display has 44% more color saturation than the iPhone 4S display. And if you know about this stuff, this takes us to full sRGB color specification. So this is the most accurate display in the industry. And the engineering team went much further than that. They did some breakthrough work and have integrated the touch sensors right into the display itself. Others put a layer called an ITO layer on top. By doing this, we make it 30% thinner than the previous display, and we remove a layer, making the image sharper, having less glare and sunlight. This truly is the world's most advanced display. And we couldn't be prouder of it. And that's the first feature in the new iPhone 5. Next, ultra-fast wireless technology. Again, you can imagine the challenge the engineering team faced. Make the iPhone thinner, lighter, smaller, build in all the wireless technology you had with iPhone 4S, and take it further. And that's what they've done. They've built in GPRS, Edge, EVDO, HSPA, making it a great 3G world phone, just like the iPhone 4S. But to that, we've added HSPA+, dual carrier HSDPA, and yes, LTE. So LTE gives you a theoretical maximum downlink of up to 100 megabits per second, and it just screams. So how did they do this? This took a lot of incredibly advanced engineering. There's now a single chip, baseband chip for voice and data, and a single radio chip as well. This saves a great deal of space. And we have a really unique Apple innovation in a dynamic antenna. We started this with the iPhone 4S and taken it much further with iPhone 5, where it can automatically switch antenna connections on the base antenna between different networks creating different virtual length antennas. Now, you probably know LTE is probably the most complicated networking technology ever brought to this earth. And there are different bands and frequencies around the world. So an important question is, who are we working with to roll out LTE on iPhone 5? Well, in the US, we have great partners we're working with, AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint, to support LTE on iPhone 5. In Canada, Rogers, TELUS, Bell, Virgin, Fido, Koodo. In Asia, SoftBank, KDDI, SKT, KT, SmartTone, M1, and Singtel. In Australia, Telstra, Optus, Virgin Mobile. In Europe, Deutsche Telekom, and the brand new Everything Everywhere that's just launched their EE LTE network in the UK. Now in Europe, there's something else really interesting going on. There's a lot of adoption of this new dual carrier HSDPA network. So here's a list of all the carriers we're working on that with us as well. Just great coverage of the dual carrier network. So ultra-fast wireless doesn't just stop with cellular. We've also built in higher performing Wi-Fi as well. With iPhone 5, we have 802.11a joining B, G, and N. 802.11n is now 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and that's dual channel 5 gigahertz for much greater performance. So you can get a theoretical maximum performance of 100 megabits per second of bandwidth on 802.11. So that's ultra-fast wireless. Now, we're going to keep going with this, and what you're going to hear as I go through each step, we've updated every aspect of iPhone 5. Everything has been enhanced, re-engineered, redesigned over iPhone 4S. So what's next? System performance, a brand new chip, the Apple A6 chip. Compared to the A5, it's 2 times faster at CPU, 2 times faster at graphics. Our expertise in chip design is really showing itself here, because not only is it a huge jump forward in performance, it's also 22% smaller, making it more space and energy efficient. The team has done a remarkable job. You're going to see that across many of the things you do, whether you're launching apps like Pages, saving images from your photo app, loading up the music app with songs to play, viewing attachments and keynotes, really seeing basically 2x performance across the board. And developers are going to love what they can do with this new A6 chip, the performance they get for their CPU and graphic-intense applications. So we thought, let's get a developer to get their hands on this A6 chip in the new iPhone 5 and show you what can be done with state-of-the-art performance and graphics. So I'm really excited to invite out Rob Murray, executive producer at EA Studios, to show you some amazing work they're doing on the new A6 chip on the iPhone 5. Rob? Welcome.
Thanks, Phil.